Because you have touched matters to do with Sahel, let's talk about what has been happening in Burkina Faso and also Cote d'Ivoire. What do you think of the leadership in those two countries?
Oh, with Burkina Faso,
Mm-hmm.
we know Burkina Faso as a country for the second or the third time in history. It has another brilliant and a very innovative leader.
Yeah.
Traore is like a reincarnation of Thomas Sankara. In African knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
it was believed if a leader or if a person was born
Mm-hmm.
and came to do whatever he came to do, or even the things that he did or she did, and maybe didn't finish or accomplish them, the person's spirit has another chance of reincarnating again.
Okay.
When you compare to whatever Ibrahim Traore is doing in the present day, Burkina Faso, as you can just see, in a period of around almost 3 years, because I don't think if they are fully lapsed, that guy has really did wonders. It
What
has
are
really done
some of
wonders.
the projects Traore has done for his country?
First, that president nationalized the resources of the country, and therefore they are processing their own resources and selling them as finished products. For example, the gold, which is a very, very much good thing for them. You heard him saying, when he got into power,
Yeah.
there was no reserved gold in that Burkinabe country, even a 0 point something grams. There wasn't. But with today's leadership of Traore, the country, in as much as those previous years, as he stated, they were getting like 1 billion every year, financial year, from the sales of gold. In today's regime of his, they are able to make like $24 billion in 3 months.
Wow.
You can see it's a very much positive thing,
Yeah.
or a positive value to the country. That guy or that president has been able to ensure the old in their societies are able to be supplied with free electricity and free water.
Mm-hmm.
The recent cities that you heard of being built, which even the citizens were saying that they could have been named as Traore City, of which I might not be fully aware of the name that the city was given. That guy said those people who were displaced during the clashes for so many years, they have to go back to their local administrators, the chiefs and the so on, so that their details can be captured. They'll be the first people to benefit from those houses freely, without even paying a shilling, or even they're using their own currency without paying anything using their own currency.
Free housing.
Free housing.
What does Traore represent as an African child to you? And do you think other African countries, we need younger presidents who know what Africa needs? And specifically, I insist on the word younger generations.
Traore himself, to the African continent and to the African youth or child, stands as a symbol.
Mm-hmm.
First, a symbol of great innovation.
Yeah.
A symbol of good leadership.
Mm-hmm.
A symbol that can be maybe a person would feel like I can copy whatever Traore is doing.
Yes.
That's what Traore stands for.
Mm.
Africa, the main problem I see in terms of leadership in Africa,
Mm-hmm.
is not even the much more say that the elected leaders we do voting for. The reason is why I say that is this. I told you there are so many systems that were left behind by the colonizers.
Yeah.
those systems are still working for them to an extent that to eradicate it, it will be very, very much difficult unless some other leaders get to have the awakening spirits. The awakening spirits, I mean, our own ancestral cultural way of life. That's what I mean.
Okay. What do you think us as Africans should work on? Now, let's forget about the leaders. You know, we are the ones who elect these leaders. Huh?
Now, a very good question. Africa as a continent, in as much as we might be terming ourselves as one country, it has not yet been fully granted to us to be a country. It is a continent with so many countries, around 54, 55.
Yeah.
Leaders, for example, citizens, I mean, for example, here in Kenya, in as much as other people are saying that voting out the President Day regime is gonna mean good for this country, write it somewhere. It won't solve any problem. Because according to my own reasoning, when I heard some people saying that after president after president, the past president, the one who maybe retired, the life seems to have been easy as compared to any incoming president in any country. According to my own reasoning, it might be a trick whereby, for example, today I resign or maybe I retire as a president after finishing my tenure. You as incoming president complicate life to an extent that if I was blamed for the bad leadership that maybe the citizens were seeing, complicate it to an extent that they'll prefer me and give me praises and you'll accept to carry the blames of the day.
Yeah.
So the issue, for example, of maybe us having the oppositions in so many African countries, that one is just but a way of making leadership in a country to be difficult. Presidents might have good intentions to fully liberate their nations once and for all.
Okay.
But the oppositions might also be empowered in secrecy that we cannot be able to know. For recently, as you've been hearing, President Ruto is trying to unite the country, but the unity he is trying to put there is not for the citizens from all parts of the country, but he knows something. According to whatever I just saw, let us not have oppositions as well as we have the government of the day. If they'll conform to have one government, then it will be better. Number two, the larger part or the role that citizens are supposed to play in a country, according to what I think, is this: pledge loyalty to the president and the government of the day. From there, even if we do say that these systems are there to control us in a different way, we don't know what the president or the leadership of the day might decide to do. If you're today, maybe, let's say by 2030, you find the leaderships that maybe you become a president, for example, then the leadership or the state of the nation is as it has been and it has been there before. You do know that it will be very difficult for you to even liberate that country. Reason being, you will face a lot of betrayal, beginning from the opposition and the citizens of the day by that time also. And in as much as other people are saying that this country needs to be liberated through revolution by the military, the truth of the matter is the politics in town is not same as the politics in rural areas.
They are too different.
There are truly two different types of politics being played.